In Toronto, Immigration Minister Mark Miller announced a new caregiver pilot program that will provide home care workers with the permanent residence instantly upon their arrival in Canada.
Thousands of caregivers have come to Canada, started new lives, and built new communities. However, the reality is that despite their hard work, they've faced and continue to face barriers in obtaining their permanent residency status. Earlier today, I met, or just a few minutes ago, we concluded a meeting with current and past caregivers who told me their journeys and challenges to Canada. Teresa, who's there among us today, told us her story about how she works during the day to take care of kids for a family in Toronto, but at night has to take courses to pass the very onerous language requirements and the ones that are even more onerous in similarly situated circumstances.
The new pathway will be a simplified one-step immigration process with reduced language requirements. Menopause is something that all women experience, but a reporter with Canadian Affairs has highlighted that one of the most effective treatments for the symptoms of menopause is regularly overlooked. Earlier today, we sat down with Hadessa Allen Carr from Canadian Affairs, who explained the gap in treatment.
Well, what's being overlooked is one of the best treatments for menopause, which is hormone therapy. Basically, when women go through menopause, their hormone levels fall drastically. And this affects every single part of our systems. Men and women both need hormones to be able to function well. And once those go down for women, their cognitive level goes down. They're more susceptible to heart and other diseases. And even their well-being overall goes down. So 1 out of 4 women have severe symptoms that are so severe they can no longer work. So that's 25% of all women. And basically, the hormone therapy allows them to get the hormones that they're missing. And when that's done, their symptoms significantly improve. In the early 2000s, there was a study by a group called the Women's Health Initiative. And they did a study on hormone therapy in women, but that started in around 1991. But they had to cut it short because it showed that the hormones that they were using were actually increasing the risk of heart and cancer in women. And this was really shocking. Basically, it made international headlines, and this scared a lot of people in the profession, a lot of doctors and anyone caring for women in menopause from using the hormone therapy. But I spoke to Dr. Alison Shea, who is the chair of the Canadian Menopause Society here in Canada, and she said that those statistics were the increase in those diseases in women when they get hormone therapy were minimal. And it was really the media hysteria that really pushed the doctors and the medical institutions to stop giving these hormone therapy to women. And over time, there has been more studies that shown how to give hormone therapy in a way that reduces all of these risks and instead helps women during this phase in their lives. Well, the Canadian Menopause Society is working on meeting with doctors in medical school. So that's one of the first issues, is that doctors don't really learn a lot about menopause. Even though it affects half of the population, and some would say it affects all of the population, because if you work with a woman, then definitely you're going to have to pass through that phase with them. And so teaching doctors that this is an important phase in a woman's life to know how to treat, especially because it affects all of their organs, is the first step. So as I mentioned, Dr. Shea, she has been in medical schools really teaching that this is an important treatment option. And the second is all of the doctors that are already working. Our healthcare system is really overloaded. And this makes it hard for doctors who were really learning about menopause or went through med school in the early 2000s or even before then. They have the impression that this is not a good health treatment because that's when they were last studying it. And because our healthcare system is overloaded, a lot of doctors don't have the time to go and get re-educated in many areas of medicine. They really focus on their specialization, but not on other branches of medicine. And so the society is working on making small courses available for doctors that would make it easy for them to complete and update their knowledge in how to treat menopause.